Okay, so hopefully at home you have a notebook or a composition notebook where you have access to paper that you can use for writing a journal or creating a sketchbook. The first thing that I did was write my name on the outside, right, on the front cover, and I also wrote journal and sketchbook. Now this first project that we're going to work on is about the Yellowstone poem that we just read. I first tried to remember words that were important from the poem, and I wrote them down with a marker. Then I drew with crayon different shapes to try to imagine what the Yellowstone Park looks like. I included animals, flowers, trees, mountains, and a bird. I also wrote the date. Now remember, if you're going to use watercolor in a notebook like this, you need to create something that will protect the rest of the paper inside of your notebook. So I did this with a small sheet of cardboard that I wrote some questions on. Now this is just the back end of a cereal box, but it protects all of the pages beneath the one I'm working on. To create this, you just take a cereal box, cut off the outside edges, and use the cardboard. And a regular size cereal box already has these folded lines, these folded edges, and this is perfect to use scissors and cut on. And once you've cut it out, then it should fit, just like mine, perfectly inside of your composition notebook. Ooh, there's a tease. It's a little preview. All right, so the first thing I said that we should do was to write down words that we remember from the poem. I remember that the poem was called Yellowstone. Now, if you're older or you are really practicing your handwriting, you can write the entire poem by going back through the video and hitting pause. For me, I'm just going to try to remember words that I really liked from the poem, like park, bears. I also want to include wolves this time. Wolves. Rivers. Geysers. Geysers are like these giant water fountains that explode out of the ground. They're really cool. You should look up some videos on geysers so you could see some too. I remember the poem also had animals. Maybe I'll draw some of my favorite animals. Okay, the last thing that was super important in the poem, that the poet wrote really large right at the end, was big blue sky. Okay, I think I'm ready. The first thing that we want to do to create a wax resist is use crayon, right? Use the crayons, because crayons are made out of wax, just kind of like candles. Okay. I just realized I don't have any green. No green. But that's okay, because I can use layering. And I know that if you mix blue and yellow together, they make green. To draw trees, I'm just going to draw simple geometric shapes, just little triangles first. And I don't want to color it with crayon because we're going to use watercolor soon. Maybe just 4 trees. That was blue. Now let's add yellow. Ooh, that's cool. I wonder if it would be the same color if you drew with yellow first and then blue. Let's add some mountains. I will use a brown crayon and draw a big zigzag line. Now, because I used marker for my words, I can draw over them with crayon. Big zigzag line. Cool. And I remember rivers. So I'll draw a wavy line. Maybe I'll draw a second wavy line. Oh, that's neat. It does look like a river. Oh, I forgot the trunks of my trees. I'll draw little rectangles underneath. Neat. Now this part's going to be really fun. You need a white crayon for this part. The first thing that you're going to do is draw snow at the tops of your mountains. Now you don't want to color the whole mountain because remember we're using a wax resist. So you want to color very thick, maybe layering with white over and over again, just at the top of these triangles. Do your best to stay inside of the line, but you know what? It's okay if you don't, because then that little white part could be a cloud. Maybe I'll draw a little cloud. Let's add some clouds near our words because we're going to need a big blue sky. I am definitely going to have to figure out how to videotape this in a different way. It's so shaky. One more up here. Just kind of thinking about where the lines would be. Now, if this is too difficult for you because you don't remember or you can't see it, you can always take your finger and you can feel the crayon on the paper. Or you could draw the clouds in pencil first, just the outline, and then color them in with white crayon. That might also be helpful. Now, just for fun, I'm just going to draw a couple of lines down in the front. So maybe there's some grass down here that's dying or just a different color. I think that would be interesting. Now, before we finish, we need to add those animals. Geyser. Oh yeah, and bears. I'm just going to draw a big bear head down here at the bottom. Just big circle with the letter C shapes, right? Some curved lines. A circle at the bottom. The little nose and eyes. Now this is going to be, he's in the foreground. So that means he's the biggest. He's bigger than the mountains and the trees because he's the closest to us. There's my little bear. Let's give him some arms. Cute. Now let's add some more animals. Oh yeah, wolves. Let's draw wolves. My wolf is going to also be in the foreground. Let's try drawing a straight line. And we'll draw a straight line again, just short this time. This will be where his mouth is. It's going to be like he's howling up at the mountains. Ooh, curved line. Cute. And I'll do another curved line for his eye and his nose. There's my wolf, howling straight up. Oh, let's give him a little chin. Cute. Now, if you want to, you could continue adding more and more lines and details all over your drawing just to see what would happen as a wax resist when we start adding watercolor. Cool. Okay, When we're using watercolor at home, you still need a water cup. Now I used a yogurt container and cleaned it out really good with soap and water. And then remember, you don't want to fill it all the way up with water. You just need a teeny tiny bit of water to start. That's it, just a little bit of water. Now your watercolor palette might look different from mine, but we all have a paintbrush and water. First, we need to soften up that brush. So we're just going to be really gentle, just using our paintbrush, rubbing the paintbrush on the bottom of the cup. Now when it's soft, you can touch it and it bends. That's how we know it's ready. Now with you're using this kind of watercolor, you really don't need to add that much water to the paint. Let's try it. Ooh. You can also just add water to the paint that's already on the paper. Oh, there's my wax resist. See how I'm trying to bring the paint up and it's not working? So much fun. Cool. I'm just going to keep painting brown on all of my mountains. Cool. This is so fun. Trying to stay inside of the lines, but you know, if that doesn't work out for you, it doesn't work out. That's okay, because art is unique to each craftsman. Right? Look how fun that snow looks on there. Cool. Now with this kind of paper, because it's not made specifically for watercolor, you don't want to add too much paint all at once. So I have my nice piece of cardboard here between all of my pages to protect it. And you can flip over the page and you can see how wet the paper is. So we want that paper to be able to dry before we add another layer. So I'm just going to switch colors and move on. Do you remember how to clean our brush? First, we wipe the paintbrush on the bottom. Being gentle, you don't want to make a duck foot. When you push the paintbrush down like this, it actually damages the bristles. It damages the brush. So we want to be gentle with our paintbrush. So swish, 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 and then we'll check it on the back of our hand. Look at that, it's clean water. If yours isn't clean, you need to go back and try again. You can also wipe your paintbrush on the side of your cup. Nice and clean. All right, so I'm switching to the color green. So I need to bring water from the water cup into the watercolor palette. Once I have a little bit of watercolor, I can start painting my trees. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. I'm glad I added those little yellow dots with my yellow crayon. I think that turned out really nice. Oops, I made it outside the line. That's okay, right? It's okay. I'll paint my trunks green too. Why not? I can always come back and layer it with some black or some brown or even purple. I wonder what happens when you mix green and purple. Do you know? Maybe we should try it. Clean our brush. Wipe. Clean. Let's add purple. Just a little bit, not a lot. My purple's over here. Ooh, interesting. It's kind of fun. Maybe I'll add some red. Clean the brush. That's fun. I've seen lots of different trees up in the mountains that change colors, especially in the Appalachian Mountains, but also in the Rocky Mountains in Colorado. Like aspens, they're really beautiful in the fall. I think it's time to add some blue for our river. Ooh, It looks like I got too much paint. See how thick it is? Oh my. That's okay. You know, want to know something funny is the way I'm recording this video right now. My wife has like a selfie stick, but it kind of wraps all the way around. So I have it wrapped around my neck with the camera sitting right in front of my face. So I'm watching everything I'm doing through the camera. I think that's why it's so shaky. I need to find a different way to do this, but that's okay. We're all learning what to do now. So start with blue. I'm going to start painting my big blue sky. Oh, look! I found some of that white crayon. That wax resist. That is so pretty. I remember doing that too. It's okay to touch the paint. This is watercolor paint, right? So it washes off with water. That's okay. I love to touch paint while it's wet, just to kind of help move it around. So fun. Ooh, too much. Too much. We need to spread that around. I'll just get some more water and just spread it around. Just a little bit of water. Remember, this paper is not made for this. That's pretty fun. Oh, I found some more. Look at that little cloud. That's so nice. Cool, another cloud showed up. This is actually really fun too, especially if you want to write a secret note to someone, like a parent or a child or a friend. You can write with just white crayon and tell them, go get some watercolor. And then you can see what they come up with. I think that sounds fun. Remember in the poem where it said, big blue sky? I think I'm going to paint all the way up to the top of my paper. What about you? I'm remembering to get lots and lots of water because this is concentrated paint. And so if I just keep touching it, it'll go on really thick. You see that? And we want to make things last. So let's add just a little bit of water. Oh, I found another cloud. Cool. I hope you're enjoying this lesson. It's fun for me, even though it's probably not my best artwork, probably not my best craftsmanship. It's still just really nice to paint and to draw. All right, let's add some grass. I'm gonna get some green. I forgot to check it. Oh, let's go ahead. I'm gonna add a nice big green line right across my tree. My tree line right there. Ooh, you know what else? Maybe I'll add some yellow bushes. That would be fun. Oh, or orange, or I can make flowers. I wonder what you guys are gonna add. You can always send me pictures. I would love to see what you're making. It would make me feel so much joy to see what kind of park you think is at Yellowstone. And if you've ever been to Yellowstone, then you already know what it looks like. And you can share that with all of us too. little flowers. Bloop, 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 bloop. Little flowers. That's nice. Now, one thing I want to try, now that I think my mountains are dry, let's check. Oh yeah, these are nice and dry. I'm going to try layering on my mountains. So I painted them with brown, remember? So now I'm going to add a little bit of purple just to the left-hand side of each one of these mountains. So just adding a little bit of purple on each mountain. So that's it. That's all I'm adding, just a little bit. This creates kind of like a shadow. It makes your painting look a little bit more dynamic when you start layering and adding different colors to create the illusion of three-dimensional space. Now this is probably not my best painting, but I think it looks really fun. Don't you think so? Looks pretty fun so far. Now I have to paint my bear and my wolf. Try really hard to stay inside those lines. You know what would be fun to add for this bear? Let's pretend that just like the mountains, how the shadow, the purple is on the left side, let's add yellow. Let's add a layer of yellow on the right hand side to make it look like there's some light shining on our little baby bear. I think that would be fun. Cute. Looks really nice. Now my paper is pretty wet right here, so I need to give it a break. I need to give my paper a break before I add any more layers to that adorable bear. So let's go and make our gray wolf. I'm gonna add black. Cool. I'm going to do the same thing that we've done with our bear and with the mountains, and just keep it light on the right hand side and darken it up on the left hand side. But this time, instead of layering with purple or yellow, I'm going to layer with blue. So I have my nice little first layer of black paint. I'm going to add a little bit of blue paint just to this one side. Ooh, that's very thick. I can use my finger though and kind of wipe it away. Cool. Ooh, don't forget his nose. Now he's got a blue nose. That's pretty fun. All right, I think I'm gonna finish the grass and add a little bit more layers to my wolf. And then you can get on to making our blue ink value scale drawings. That's mostly for my older kids, for my older students who really just want to start using those pens that we sent home. If you are younger and you have a pen at home, feel free to try it and keep sending it to me. I mean, I just love all of the artwork that people have been sending in to me. Santiago, huge shout out to you for sending in that beautiful picture of a sunflower. That was really nice. I'm so glad that you are having a great time at home making art. I think that's really nice. I've had a lot of students sending me work, like Izzy did the monochromatic challenge on Dojo, and who else? Fernanda and Sal. They've been working really hard, and Ariana Moreno and Javon. So anything that you guys want to send to me, please just send me pictures of your artwork. I would love that. I'll even put my email address. Oh yeah, I forgot. I drew those little white lines. I was wondering why my bear wouldn't. He had that weird line on his head, but I guess that was from the crayon resist, right? The wax resist. I forgot all about that. This is turning out pretty nice. I'm really happy with this one. My first one was nice too. I mean, you can always do this a second time, especially if on the first time you want to just write words that you remember from the poem. And for your second time, you could write the whole poem. Maybe have the whole poem written down the middle of the page and have all of the picture like a big picture frame around the outside. That would be fun. Okay, I think I'm all done.